Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Today, and today we'll be reacting to huge fight announcements. Dana White just announced that UFC 287 is going to get a bunch of big fights, starting off with Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya for April 8th. I think this is going to be a huge fight and probably the best fight of the year. Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya had this huge rivalry. Israel's now down 0-3 if you want to count his kickboxing matches against Alex Pereira, with the last one being finished in the fifth round. Goddard saved his life, guys. Goddard saved this man's life, and he's going to try to avenge these losses and hopefully get at least one win. Come on, Israel. You got to get at least one win against him. But, guys, I'm leaning towards Alex Pereira here. Alex Pereira is only getting more experience, and Glover Teixeira just retired as well. So that means that he's going to have Glover in his corner, and Glover's going to correct a lot of those mistakes that Alex had on the ground. And you guys know Alex, he's obsessed with Israel. He's obsessed with this guy. He watches the fights like all the time, so he knows what mistakes he made against Israel. And I think Israel's going to have a tough time dealing with Alex at this point if he stuffs those takedowns. And if you guys remember the last fight, actually, Israel didn't even really take him down. I think he just reversed a position and was able to hold down Alex with that wrist control and things like that. Which, credit to Israel, you know, he's been doing MMA for a while now, so he's only getting better as well. But I think Alex has more room of improvement here. So you guys let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm leaning towards an Alex, maybe second or third round KO. I know Israel is a good fighter, and let's not discredit him. He does have good coaching as well, so maybe he can pull this off. But I think Israel is going to have a really tough time dealing with the range. This isn't Rob. This isn't Cannonier. This is a guy who's bigger than you, stronger than you, and hits a lot harder. So we'll see how that goes. Another fight has been announced as well. Pretty big. Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. Gilbert Burns has been begging for this fight, man. If you guys follow this timeline, Gilbert Burns has been begging to fight Jorge, and now he's finally getting that matchup. Now, I know from a rankings perspective, this doesn't really make sense. Gilbert, I think he's around maybe 4 or 3, somewhere around there. And if I remember, Jorge is maybe a number 11, somewhere around there. So I think that's going to be a little problem if you guys think about it ranking-wise. But on paper, I think that this fight makes a lot of sense. And honestly, let's be real. The UFC doesn't care about rankings. They really don't. So I think it's going to be a huge fight. Gilbert Burns showed he has amazing wrestling, which is Jorge's weakness. If you guys watch that Neil Magny fight, he was able to control Magny the entire time and finish him pretty easy. I'm really shocked at how fast he beat Magny. That just shows you that Gilbert Burns has been in a lab and he's been trying to work on his wrestling game, which I think he should have been doing that from the start, because all these brawls, honestly, he's been getting exposed on the feet with some good strikers. Even Hamza, who's not even that technical of a striker but has power, was able to drop him with just a jab. Usman, just a jab. Dan Hooker hurt him with a jab. So we know that Gilbert Burns does have problems on the feet with anything thrown on the middle. So that's where I would say it's an advantage for Jorge if they stay on the feet. Now, Jorge, we haven't seen him since last March, where he faced Colby Covington. So he has been off for some time. So I don't know how serious he's been, but he has plenty of time now since the card is going to be April 8th. So he has to work on that takedown defense. I think people are going to underestimate Jorge. I'm leaning towards Burns, but Jorge could pull this off here because it is a good stylistic matchup. If Gilbert Burns decides to stand up on the feet for a while, Jorge's going to have a lot of opportunity with some nice shots down the middle that we know will crack that chin of Burns. And if I had to pick who's more chinny, it's going to be Burns. I know Jorge got knocked out by Usman, but that was like the only time he's ever been knocked out cold in his whole entire career. And he does have a pretty solid chin. So as long as he can keep it on the feet, I think he can knock out Gilbert Burns. But I wouldn't be shocked if Gilbert takes him down and controls it for the entire fight. So I'm looking towards maybe a decision by Burns, or it could be a KO from Jorge. Either way, that's going to be a huge fun fight. Probably going to be the co-main event. I don't know if it's going to be 3 or 5 rounds, though. That's going to be the interesting part of this, because I would say 5 rounds is probably going to favor someone like Jorge. I know both of their cardios are probably similar, but Jorge's gas tank, I don't know if I could trust it. But I think 5 rounds is going to be more of an advantage towards Jorge, because he can keep it at least on the feet for some of those rounds. All right, let's go to the next. I think this is a great fight right here. Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. That is a great matchup for Kevin Holland, if you ask me. Santiago, let's be real, I think he's a bum now. I think he got exposed by Alex Morono, and Alex Morono on 4 days notice. You were training that whole entire fight, Santiago, and you got pieced up, rocked, almost finished. Now I know you did come back and get the KO, But that was an Alex Morono who has no idea your style of fighting, didn't get to study you, didn't have a training camp, and he was able to do that to you. That just shows me that Kevin Holland has a really good chance. Now, guys, the question is, can we trust Kevin Holland's IQ? We've seen he had a lack of IQ against that Wonder Boy fight where he had a Wonder Boy on the ground, just let him back up multiple times. Didn't make any sense, but I think he's going to buckle down. I think his coaches are going to be like, hey, we got to get serious. We got to beat this guy. And I think Santiago is ranked as well. So this is going to be a good way for Kevin Holland to get into those rankings that he's been wanting at welterweight. And it's a bounce back win. Kevin Holland, guys, company man, is paying off. Look what he's been doing. He's been talking about fighter pay this, fighter pay that. And now look at the UFC. They're taking care of this kid. So I give him props a little bit right there. He has been playing his cards right with the UFC to get these type of matchups. Santiago is a small guy. Guys, Santiago is like, what, 5'9", 5'10"? He ain't that big. And in the last fight, he looked really small. And I'm just thinking, I could just picture it right now. Kevin Holland with that 83-inch reach advantage, with those long limbs, long legs, man, he can either kick him, punch him from a distance, and Santiago's not going to be able to get close. And let's be real. Li Jingliang took that chin. Santiago's chin is very questionable at this point in his career, and I can't believe this guy was considered title hopes. So that's all the way down the drain. I think that Kevin Holland KO'd him probably like maybe first or second round, honestly. I don't see this going to decision unless Kevin Holland kind of plays it safe, which I don't think he is. Kevin Holland is not that type of guy. So let me know what you guys think about these fights. I think this is going to be the best card of the year. Give me some of your thoughts and opinions about the matchup. Who you think is going to win? Alex, Izzy, Gilbert, Jorge, Kevin, Santiago. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'm going to try to keep on doing some of these type of videos as soon as they get announced. So let me know what you guys think. All right, peace.